No sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. She's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away. Wonder this time where she's gone. Wonder if she's going to stay. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. And this house just ain't no home. Anytime she goes away. I know. Yeah, I'm leaning on getting love, but ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Only darkness every day. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. And this house just ain't no home. Anytime she goes away. 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 I know, 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 I know. Yeah, I'm feeling all day love, but ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. She's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away. Wonder this time where she's gone. Wonder if she's going to stay. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. And this house just ain't no home. Anytime she goes away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
Because you know I'm all about that. I got a bed, but I 9:05 in the evening. I'm all up in my feelings. So call your phone cause I can't get enough. And I got work in the morning. Early in the morning. But who needs sleep when we're loving it up? Oh, and what I gotta do this the hard way. My body wants to be in arms, baby. Something I regret in the morning. But I just can't resist when you're calling. I got a bed, but I'd rather be yours tonight. I got a bed, but I'd rather be yours. That's what I said
think you're better off alone? Do you think you're better off alone? Talk to me, ooh, talk to me. Talk to me, ooh, talk to me. Do you think you're better off alone? Do you think you're better off alone? Talk to me, ooh, talk to me. Talk to me, ooh, talk to me. Do you think you're better off alone? Do you think you're better off alone?
There are now
Unless you understand it and find out what to do, don't think about it. I'll be running with you. If I can understand it, I'll find another way. Keep moving, keep moving. Man, never knew. If you're coming like that, then it's been about time you know. In a new house, in a new place. If you change, keep moving, keep moving. I can hear the alarm. I won't take it much longer. Keep moving, keep moving. Oh, you're breaking my heart. Thanks for making me stronger. Moving, so it's gonna turn you. If you change, when you're living like that, you can spin around town, you know. In a new house, in the UK. If you change,
Keep moving, keep moving. Bam, 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 bam. Welcome everyone to round 4 of the FNL F1 2021 season. And we are here on the streets of Baku in Azerbaijan, where we've gone from one tricky street circuit to another. Where are the viewers at? Probably all driving. All because of what happened last week. You know, it just doesn't... You know, watching Monaco and how fucking shit the game is, don't blame them not returning for qualifying. Obviously, F1's out. You know, well, currently the practice session's on. Don't blame them for watching. But again, we have a full grid here at FNL. And we have a few new drivers on the grid. If you are an old school FNL name, you will recognize the name of Rudy, as he's returned back in a big seat as well in the Mercedes-Benz. Yeah, it was 40-minute red flag, yeah. It do be like that sometimes. So Rudy's coming back on his F1 return in the Mercedes spot. Obviously, usually taken by Tao, who was not racing with us after the mishap and the game glitches that occurred at Monaco, with a car glitching from the pit lane onto the start-finish line, and him having no space to avoid it and just hits the back of a car that doesn't exist. So he will no longer be with us. RIP that pussy. Ay. So a lot of drivers have been practicing these tricky streets here at Azerbaijan. And this is where drivers can get a name with really a name in FNL when it comes to car setups as well. There's a few strategies you can go along with this, which is obviously making the straightest line possible with all speed in mind, potentially overtakes before DRS is even available. Some options can be more of a dynamic setup with the tricky Sector 2. The weather, at this stage, looks pretty sunny. Baku is not known for rain. When it does, it's very, very overcast-like. As we just saw any minute now fly past, and already showing why you don't rock the assist to come out of the pit lane. Right here is a very typical rookie mistake. Obviously respecting the cars that are coming out of the pits as well, staying behind. He comes out of the lane and he comes into turn one not knowing that someone's on a hot lap. So Kopsky nearly comes out and just absolutely destroys not just his qualifying session, but as well as any minute now. Weather's most likely going to be dry. Hopefully a driver is listening and they could potentially tell us that it is going to be a dry session. Davies usually is somewhat involved. Dry, thank you, as Davies always involved. Yeah, Dutchy, how did they not touch? Yeah, Kopsky just bringing out the inner brilliance within the Haas, avoiding that type of conduct. To avoid any minute now, just coming out of the pits. Quite a rookie error, but Kopsky's got to be the first car to finish the first opening lap here at qualifying. Hopefully, game glitch wise, we don't see anything that happened at Monaco. Hopefully, because that does put a damper on the whole race. Saving a set of softs until quali shit here. Yeah, pretty much. Haven't done any laps with this setup. Oh, so Davey's coming in with a quite a timid setup. So let's see what Kopsky can do on the first opening lap. A 1:38.5 on a still warming up track here at Baku. So a very respectable time as Alex comes in with a 1:38.6. A 1:38.7 by Zach. A lot of cars are going to be flying through the finish line here, setting their times. So let's see what Crystal can do. Obviously, there's a few cars in front of him. As Dills comes in with a 1:38.2. So 38 seemed to be the consistent time. And then a 1:43 from Voodoo. And Crystal's got to bail out of his lap and go into the pits. As Yumsy sets the fastest time but doesn't break into the 1:37s. It's a 1:38.0. So re-education. Unsure who this driver is. Well, like Discord wise, don't know who he is. He might just be known as Re-Education. But he's also a new driver on the grid, rocking in the Aston Martin. Interesting, scared of the castle at the moment. They should be in the low 37s. First lap out. Everyone getting their eyes settled in. Track evolution will come into play, making everyone a little bit quicker overall. So the 38s will be the common number, and then we should start seeing the 37s come in quite quickly afterwards. So let's see what the team of McLaren can do from last week's performance at Monaco, from one street circuit to another. And I thought it sounded like he lifted there by the revs, but Dill's getting his first FNL P1 and Papa joining him on the podium for a very strong finish for McLaren in a P3. So let's see how he goes up into a P5, a 1:38.5 currently, just a little smidgen behind Kopsky, as it's quite a long lap to get back into the pits. Rappel still going for the optimal medium strategy straight away. Seeing just hasn't gotten his own at the moment, hasn't found his footing in the F1 2021 season, comparing with the dominance that AlphaTauri had in the constructors last season in the last game of F1 2020. So Crystal Palace had retired from the pits, it seems, because I don't see it on the track map. So he's opted to retire in the pits. He might have a qualifying ban. Let's have a look. So Rappel is the only one on the medium so far with a 139. He'll probably drop down into a 137 or a 138 low with the softs. I think they're a full second difference in pace. Bad Voodoo's done a 143 in the mediums as well, just getting his iron for Team Williams. But let's stay on board with Rudy for now, because Rudy's a returning driver. We haven't seen him for a few seasons now, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes in his first little run here at Baku. Last time I raced with him was Singapore in the F1 2020 season, with us two all coming down to strategy to win the race, and I went and claimed it. It was the first day Singapore race in FNL history because they stuffed up the timing. So let's stay on board with Rudy on his first official lap back into F1 2021 and FNL as a whole. So he goes into a heavy braking zone into turn 1, touches the apex perfectly. He might have practiced laying up to this. He might have tried to finesse everyone here with a zooming time. Misses that apex slightly, but it's also good at the same time because it might unbalance the car, unsettle it enough to lose traction coming out of turn 2. And he's coming into the heavy braking zone after the DRS into turn 3. Doesn't lock up the tyre, nice and smooth. Unsure of the assist, but I know he's a nothing type of guy. He loves his iRacing. Touches that curb, but he comes in quite heavy. So he's getting used to the braking as we speak. Doesn't hit too much of that front wing. Also misses the braking zone into turn 5. But he still purples sector 1. So incredible speed coming in, even with the individual mistake. Does he cut this corner perfectly? He does. You can cut across that curb very nicely here into the famous castle section on board. Cuts through, no mistakes here. Not hitting the wall at all. Very smooth and fast through the tricky section of sector 2. Now coming into the sweeping left-hander. Now hard braking into sector 3. As he slides across, using all of the white lines given, Dutch comes in. If you miss the apex, you basically lose 3/10. You do, because you can cut that so much there. So let's see if Rudy decides to finish this lap or decides to go into the pits. But any lap's a good lap here. 3, 4, 5, 6. He's got to be in the high 8s here. Into the 9s. Even nearly into the 4s there. So he might have gotten some wing damage there. But any time's a good time for now. Into P12. So not the best of laps. So let's see how Davies goes on the mediums as he finishes his lap. Are we going to see a very quick time on the mediums? Oh, we do see a pretty quick time, but not as quick as Rappel. Fastest boy in the mediums with a 139. As Newell has entered the chat into P7, a 138.7 on the softs, most likely, as he does. So Davis is the only one on the mediums, finishing his lap. Rappel on an out lap on his softs. So let's see how the AlphaTauri driver flies through sector 1 here. He was the quickest on the mediums, so he should ideally be the quickest on the softs. A full second off his time should be enough to slot himself into P1. Whoa, I heard a little bit of snicko there. But everything seems to be okay for now. Comes across apex nice and smooth onto the throttle. Let's see how he cuts it here. He cuts it, and he gets away with the invalidation. line through Castle. Touching these apexes perfectly as well, sliding across. This is a very quick lap, but I'm not seeing any purple so far. Let's have a look at the sector split coming out of the sector 2. See how much he's improved his time. So he's only 4 tenths up on his time. Not the biggest improvement we're seeing, as the softs are usually around nearly that full second difference, I think. That was on the last game. But it also depends if teammates are willing to give each other a tow here. Huge team benefits here, giving each other a tow on the second longest finish straight here in F1, and he gets a 1:38.3. So he slots himself into P4 behind his teammate by 3 tenths of Masticles, who's currently on a cooldown lap. There's a bit of awkward traffic here with Re-Education and Alex, but it seems to be okay. They're all on their cooldown lap. As Yumpsy is 3 tenths up on his time, and he's got to fly through to set a PB of a 1:37.6. The only car so far that's broken into the 37s here at FNL. Kopsky, who set the first lap time in the session. Let's see how he goes here. He's got a bit of traffic up ahead. But it also might be beneficial if he gets a tow from him. Revs out. Comes in nice and hot. He's got Bird up ahead. It might be giving him some bad backwind there. Some turbulence towards the downforce of the F1 car. But it could be beneficial, as I said. It could be a tow that he could desperately need. But Bert could be on a cooldown lap and he could let him go here. As Papa Fresh has retired in Sector 2. Find that Red Bull. Yeah, he's made a colossal mistake. He's caught the curb and he's thrown himself into the wall. Tchaikovsky is getting a tow here. This is going to be a massive time. I reckon this might be pole position here. Because he's the only driver that's actually going to get a tow. He might not be inside that zone for a big tow. But I think it's going to be a good one. Nonetheless, it's a 1:38. Oh, so he improved by 4 tenths. But still not enough to beat Yumpsy on his time. I think if he was closer to Bert, he might have been pulled enough in the tow to go and get P1 in the session. So 4 minutes and 20 seconds left inside this qualifying session. Papa Fresh and Chris are the first drivers to retire. Let's see how Ghost goes. Bit of debris. Looks like there's a hanging bit of debris on the back of his car. Nothing on there for now. Ghost is currently out of the top 10. A 1:39.1. Breaks into the 38s. He can slot in anywhere in the top 10. He's purpled Sector 2. So he's absolutely flying. And Track Evolution's kicking into gear. So he's coming into the longest part of the track. Most likely, all the overtakes are going to be done through here into turn 1 and turn 3. Let's see what time he sets. He's looking for a good time, keeping the car nice and straight. And he breaks into the 1:38. He's got a 3 tenth improvement, but he's not inside the 10. So a 1:38.8. And he's just outside, but he's in front of Licorice at the moment. So the best spot for free tyres is 11th. So let's see if Rudy is going to put his head down and push for an improved time of a 1:39.9. Mercedes have had fantastic teammates along the way this season. Tao getting put into that Mercedes a few times. The most famous moment was Yumpsy versus Tao at Spain, with Yumpsy forcing Tao to basically hit the wall, potentially even nearly retiring him. But here we go, across the line. It's an improvement by a full second, but it slots him only in P11. So not the best welcomes back, as he realizes how much off the pace he really is. Re-education's coming across the line. And let's see how he goes on his lap. Because he's used a bunch of ERS, but that was from his out lap. Flying through the end of Sector 1 into the slapping part of Sector 2. And let's see if he purples it. He hasn't, but he's up a full 10th there. So not the best sectors from him, so we'll go to someone else. Alex is going to finish his lap. He's improved by a full 10th. That's going to be throwing him up in between 6 and 5. Depending how much more he loses through here. Yeah, and just Bit comes in with a 10, so he's just in front of Rappel, and he slots him just behind Zach. So Deals is also on his lap. With a 138.2. But it's all about slight improvements here at Baku. With such long, fast straights, it's all through the technical section of Sector 2 where you've got to make most of your time. Nice and smooth, you don't want to scrub off too much speed. He claimed the race win at Monaco. Let's see how he backs it up here at qualifying in Baku. And across the line, and it slots himself into P2 at the end of this qualifying session, a 138.0. But Kopsky and the rest of the boys are still on their lap. Yumpsy is on another lap to see if he can cement his P1. Invalidated by Masticles. Zach is on his cooldown lap. Alex is also on his cooldown lap. Rappel is pushing. Let's see how much time he has improved on. Slight little lock up. He's improved by a full 10th and a half. Davey has retired in the pits. So this is going to potentially put him into P5 on Rappel's finishing time. Mendiu's had quite a more relaxed qualifying session into P10. Slots himself into P8, so he jumps to two drivers that have finished the session already. And Rappel does jump into P5 with that 2/10 improvement. But I didn't see a lot of drivers this afternoon take a tow as Null actually jumps into P3. I think that's his best qualifying position yet here at FNL. So Davies in the perfect slot of P11 can start on his any type of compound he likes, and Yumpsy absolutely pushes and improves his time. A 137.5. Actually, Kopsky also improved on his time as well, a 137.8. But I don't think Zach needed. Oh no, he actually needed. No, Yumpsy needed to improve his time to stay in P1 by the looks of it, unless he was just slightly off. But that is the qualifying session. We still have Zach and Alex finding their way into the pits. Okay, just retire the car. It's up to you. You can retire the car and it just stops the whole animation. Feel free to retire. You don't have to if you don't want to. This is fine. Such a hash driver. Thank you, Zach. So once again, Yumpsy on the front row from his shocking qualifying performance at Monaco. So he's really bounced back up into a more suitable street circuit that he's used to. Then Kopskin deals into 2 and 3. Newell, Masticles, Rappel, Zach, Alex, Mendy, and Papa Fresh is in the top 10. And then further down, we have Davies, Rudy, Ghost, Licorice, Re-Education, Any Minute Now, Bert, Gunner, Bad Voodoo, and Crystal, who retired from the session early on. You hate this circuit. I don't know how you can hate it. It's just a couple straight lines and a castle section. I don't think there's much to hate with 3 DRS zones. But that is the qualifying session here in FNL. As the drivers prepare and get their setups fine-tuned, we'll be right back.
Unless you understand it and find out what to do, don't think about it. I'll be running with you. If I can understand it, I'll find another way. Keep moving, keep moving. If you're coming like that, then it's been about time you know. In a new house, in a new place. If you change, keep moving, keep moving. I can give you love. I won't take it much longer. Keep moving, keep moving. Oh, you're breaking my heart. Thanks for making me stronger. Moving, so it's gonna touch you. If you change, when you're living like that, you can spin around town, you know. In a new house, in the UK. If you change, keep moving, keep moving. I can give you love. I won't take it much longer. Keep moving, keep moving. Oh, you're breaking my heart. Thanks for making me stronger. I can live with it, I can live with it all. I can live with it, I can live with it all. I can live with it, I can live with it all. I can live with it, I can live with it all. Unless you understand it and find what to do, don't think about it. I'll be running with you. If I can understand it, I'll find another way. I can live with it, I can live with it
Welcome back, everyone. The drivers are out and doing their out lap currently. So Yamsi in pole position once again, a recurring name, the most dominant name so far in FNL. what I'll do is I'll start pulling up the actual tally, because I actually don't bring up the standings. I just keep forgetting about it, to be honest. So the standings in the season so far. Where are you? Got so many stats. Here we go. So in the Constructors' Championship, we have Mercedes leading the tally because we do a driver from first all the way down to 20. So everyone gets points, 42 points, 35 points, 30 points, and then so forth. So Yampsy and Vass are on top with a 141, where Rudy's currently in. And then it's Alpha Tauri still somewhat in the fight with 126 points. And then McLaren right behind with a dominant performance in Monaco in 125 points. And then Ferrari of Davies and Alex in 96. Haas, Alfa Romeo, Red Bull, Williams, Alpine, Aston Martin are all in that order. We're looking at the Drivers' Championship here as the cars ready up and line up. We have Yumpsy leading the championship with 2 P1s to his name on 101 points. Masticles leading the charge in AlphaTauri on 79 and Dills right behind on 78. And then Davies on 76. The DNF at Monaco really hurt his momentum with points because everyone gets them. So that is our top 4. And then Kopsky is in P5 on 67 points. So that is our Constructors and Team Championships at the moment. 2 drivers of Williams have been disqualified from the warm-up. So they should be on the grid now unless the intervals already decide to break. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 5 red lights and away we go. Seems like a pretty smooth start. We're not seeing any collisions so far. As you get the top angle, nice and smooth all the way across. McLaren finding his way, squeezing against the wall. Haas and an Alfa Romeo making contact. Going into the heavy braking zone of turn 2. Slight contact. There doesn't seem to be any huge collisions as there were in previous seasons. And the rest of the paddock's pretty clean all the way through as the leader of Yumpsy still fighting the charge as Copsy's trying to stay on his back. Just toggling through. Side by side is Zach and Mendy. Or more side by side contact. Absolutely wheel rubbing there as Papa Fresh has to yield the position just so there isn't a retirement. So they're following through. This is where everyone's going to get used to full fuel inside this tricky zone of the castle section. So we'll go on board with Zach as he had Papa Fresh side by side for 3 turns. How's he go through the castle nice and smooth? Going up the wall. It looks like Papa just made slight contact and he's got a very quick Mendy and Alex right behind him. And Mendy looks like he wants to make a look down the inside here and he yields back because he just couldn't get the nose in too much there. He's got to wait for a turn 1 overtake because that is the best spot on the circuit to go for a move like that. So he comes in. Oh, big collision on the wall there. Huge individual mistake there by Mendy. It's absolutely cost him the momentum on the back of Papa Fresh. And Alex makes the move done comfortably as we're trying to get the look of Mendy's front wing. Doesn't look like there's got any huge amount of damage there, funny enough. As we'll stay on board with him. But Ghost is actually flying right behind him. As we have yellow flags. It is an Aston Martin. It's a virtual safety car. So Ghost has to fall back. And he can't get that move done. Let's see how Bert... Oh, Bert's absolutely rimmed the wall out of frustration, it seemed. It seemed like he didn't want to retire his car. Now it looked like. No, he's just lagging. No, it's just the lag. That's good. So let's see if anyone gets a drive-through time penalty under the virtual safety car. We're not seeing it go into a full-blown safety car. But once again, here at FNL, we've gone to full yellows in the opening lap. And the intervals are gone. I'm just going to turn them off. I kind of need it. Oh, so there we go. Licorice with a drive-through time penalty, speeding under virtual. So Licorice, currently in 18th position, has to serve a drive-through penalty. And And the rest of the field seems to be just being held back by Noor here, where the front two have already gone flying past. Let's see. Oh, there seems to be a bit of a hold up there. Potential Haas mistake. No, Zach is just holding off the crowd for now. Sector 2 and 3 yellows. We're seeing Dills flying down the grid. He's made a mistake. He's done a half spin. He's lost the entire front wing in Sector 2. So McLaren have had a shocking start back. More of like a familiar scene compared to their Monaco heroics in Saint-Devote. So side by side, and Ghost has decided to go into the pit lane. He's on the mediums, so he must have wing damage. Oh, we have an Alex just sitting in the grid. What a very confusing move or team orders. He maybe had a potential overtake under virtual, and he had to give back the positions, but looking at the instant replay, you can just see him parked on the racing line. So I don't know what's happened there. Seems to be fighting back now, as Kopsky is still within DRS. Intervals are saying otherwise. Fluctuating way too much. And as Baku develops more and more, you can start seeing the intervals, well, the track map more on which cars are just making mistakes, because that's all it is here at Baku. It's a very punishing circuit if you make a mistake. Same with Monaco, because the walls are just so close. If you miss a braking zone, it's wise to just go and use the off-road, and then either just do a half spin or reverse it. So looking at the track map, I think a Red Bull might be under pressure here from Crystal. But everyone's within, I think they're just outside that 1 second range. A lot of mistakes early on. Yes, correct. People just not getting used to that full fuel in the car. As Re-Education's got to get the easiest move done he's ever done in his life. And he's away. Just so easy. He doesn't even need to use ERS. He's not even using it. And then Davies flying behind him and just staying behind. Mediums versus mediums here. Let's see how Davies goes when he gets given DRS. Papa Fresh with the fastest time. So Re-Education is trying to defend. He's using ERS just to push him out the first couple gears. And then Davies will stay behind. Oh! Huge collision! Are we going to see anything that happens? He's got to just keep the car parked, because you just can't do anything. He's made a mistake. And if he doesn't move the car soon, he might get disqualified. And it's prompted a full-blown safety car here at Baku, as he's patiently waited. So very wise. He might have actually just broken his rear wing there. Yeah, very veteran driver move there, not just spinning erratically. He's waited patiently. It's prompted a safety car, so we'll be chilling for the next 3 laps. And Copsey can get onto the back of Yumsy once again, because he was outside that full second range. Let's have a look at the Red Bull. Where is Noor here? Trying to have a look. Oh, Mendy with a drive-through time penalty given for speeding under virtual. You don't gain or lose any positions when a full safety car has been given. I don't know why people are speeding. Let's see if the can give us any damage. No, he might have just spun. Might have just spun. Doesn't seem to be any damage on the screen. But I think Kopsky was actually in front. No, there we go. Yumsy pitted in front. And is he going to lose any positions? Davey stays out because he's on those mediums. And he gets Yumsy. Any minute now, will he get Kopsky? He does. So this is not a good sign for Kopsky. Seen any minute now. Split him and Yumsy. It is a glitch. If you give... It gives you an unseeable delta when you go over it, and it gives you... And it gives it to you. Gives you a drive-through. Ah. Damn. That is just unfortunate. So I'll leave you with a cinematic of the safety car line. I'm just gonna go get some water. Don't tell me the safety car's doing another lap. They're so long. That took ages. Wait, Rappel's retired. Oh, he's dead. What the fuck? Why are people dying under the safety car? Happened in Spain twice. Oh well. They are currently what, P2 in the Constructors' Championship, and now they have retired under the safety car. So a huge mistake. Rappel has, I believe, had the worst. I don't even understand how he's gotten so many points. It just seems like he retired in Spain. I don't. Did he? I think he made the distance in Monaco, but was penalised. Baku didn't make it, so that's. And then round one, I think there was a crash as well. Yeah, he Roman Grosje'd it. He Romaned it. So surely we'll be seeing a safety car in this lap, and we do prompt up the top. Just a little under 20 laps. Still to go here with an average time of a 1:38. Let's see how Davies goes, the veteran in the Ferrari. How he goes in prompting this race restart. He can go at any time once the safety car is within the pit lane. So, but we could see a concertina effect with cars thinking that he's gone. As we finally do. So Gunnar and Burt with that concertina effect, and he's gone. Yamsi seems to have caught him off, didn't catch him off guard completely. And we might see a couple moves into turn one. Any minute now is defending. Forsky nearly Kopsky into the wall there. But he seems to be holding it together as any minute now has to yield. And he's actually potentially going to lose a move, another position to Crystal Paladin. Right behind him, sweeping behind him. As the Haas, actually any minute now, has actually gone back in front of Kopsky with that elite start. So, as we got contact with Papa Fresh going down the inside of Crystal Paladin. And Crystal actually loses 2 positions there. Alex pounces on and gains another free position. Going down the line, Rudy and Re-Education just vibing for now. Going down the order, yeah, Mendy seems to have... Oh yeah, he had to do his drive-through penalty. So Yamsi riding on the back of Davies. Oh, drifts out of the castle there of Davies. So his tyres are still trying to warm up. Yeah, that Alpine's got some damage there. That front wing has been ripped apart from that wall collision from Papa Fresh. So Rudy might make a move into the braking zone here. He actually wants to. Crystal has to yield a little bit. And then he gets that job done. Doesn't hit the wall either. But yeah, look at the swarm of F1 cars behind Crystal. As Davies loses the position before the straight. So I don't know if that was Davies just letting go of the throttle a little bit, just so he can get him into turn one. But it looks like he might be trying to do that. He's not really pushing with ERS, so he might be trying to do that for turn 3. As Yamsi is trying to rejoin onto that potential racing line, but takes a defensive line, a more compromised line. And then we're just missing the move there by any minute now. Davies 3/10 behind. He's not wanting to push, so he's let Yamsi go in front. Oh, here we go. This looks dangerous. Licorice, Null and Gunner. See what happens here. And he actually just slots right front. A little bit of a bigger punt from Burt, and it spins him around and rips the entire front wing off so nicely. And then coming out of the pits. Sector 1 yellows. Yeah, an entire front wing has been dropped off in Sector 1. Hopefully Crystal and stuff don't run over that. Oh, tyres are a bit cold. Sector 2 yellows now. It's Gunner. He's lost his front wing before even going into the castle section himself. Hope he doesn't go too hot because he won't be able to pull up the car in time. Same with Burt. We don't want Gunner and Burt retiring, trying to get back into the pits. So Gunner thinking that Bert's got no damage, just let him go. But they both have no front wing. So Kopsky is actually going past Davies now. So he slots himself into P2. Is he going to try and outbrake him? No, he's just going to stay there since Davies hasn't pitted. He's on his own strategy since Yumsy and Kopsky have to pit once again. And there's his teammate. Oh, and any minute now was wanting to take a peek there. And Papa Fresh losing the back end slightly. Seeing a little close battle here. DRS train. The drivers have to just pull up the car and stay behind. There's not much you can do in a DRS train. 5-second time out of a spin in pit lane for Bert. So Masticles has pitted and he's gone onto the hards. And they're all taking their time penalties. We'll stay on this little battle here. Oh! Rudy! Hitting the rear back right tyre on the wall, nearly causes him to spin in the castle section. Re-education. Ghost and Zach have to pull up the car quickly there to not hit the back of him. Let's see how many overtakes come through here. Oh! Big retirement! No, not even! Just a big crash! Was it Ghost and Zach? It was definitely Ghost involved. Top right of your screen, we might be able to just get a glimpse of what happened. But yeah, it was definitely a Haas. And an Alfa Romeo. But nothing happened safety car wise. Goes just like Repel. Spun on the inside curb, yeah, that's what it looked like on the replay. The curbs this year, I just don't understand them. Just don't give us curbs then. Re-education on the back of any minute now. So he's taken Rudy into turn 1 or 3 that I've missed. Sector 2. Zach is retired. Big incident in the castle section right in the middle. And a safety car, number 2 for the race. We can just see the end of it. So I thought that might have been Rudy following behind, but it was Zach. And his car is just broken in the middle of the car section. Car's just weaving through on that inside line. So we have our second safety car here at Baku. And then we have Zach going into the pits once again. I think a lot of drivers will be going to the pits. So mediums to finish off the rest of this Grand Prix. He's gone soft, medium, medium. So Alex is the effective leader of the Grand Prix with Re-Education and then Yumsy coming out in P3. So back-to-back safety cars. We have a Ferrari leading the pack, setting the race restart and so forth. Any minute now, gets a 5-second time penalty. And safety car is in this lap. So we're going to go into lap 15 once they cross the line. And Alex is away nice and early. Catches Re-Education off guard, but with the huge slipstream, there's going to be some moves done. I think Yumpsy might have to yield this because he's got to get this move done before the start-finish line. He has to! He has to yield the position. He's gone too quick at the blocks. And Re-Education will hold it. I think we did see a side-by-side move potentially happen here with Davies and Mendy. Here we go. Kopsky wants to make a move done on Yumpsy, and he wants to make it now. Slapped in the RS, but he doesn't want to use all of it now. If he wants to make a move, he's got to start thinking about the timing of it. Going down the grid. Seems to be all in order. No huge individual mistakes so far on this race restart number 2. And Gunner did DNF. Yeah, completely missed it during that time. And Rudy's fallen all the way down to 16th. The acceleration of the Haas to try and stay with Yumpsy. Yumpsy just got the overall pace to keep pushing and advancing up the grid, as he's most likely going to get Re-Education into turn 1. As we have another car. Oh, another massacre. It was Papa Fresh just pushing further than he needs to. And he's taken the off-road. And he's done his 3-point turn to come out the box. So I think we might have a staggered look of what happened there, as we can try and piece together what was occurring at that turn there. Is it looks like he's probably just misguided his entry point. As Copsy wants to make a move down the inside as well, and he just doesn't get the move, but he wisely stays behind. If he stayed there, and you're right, Davies falls down into 9th position. I believe he pitted. I believe that's why he's down into 9th position. Yeah, he's on the hard compound. The rest of the team did not pit, but yeah, 3 laps each. Must have made a mistake. Is Kopsky going down the inside and grabbing Re-Education, so he slots himself into P3 and stays on the back of Kopsky. So yeah, he might have gone into the pits. Maybe he had a small mistake, especially what reoccurred with the Papa Fresh incident, exactly what just came through the chat then. So yeah, more mishaps and small mistakes coming through. 10 laps to go in this race. Oh! Mendy! Caught in 4K. Front wing is absolutely ripped off. That end plate's gone, and we see a fight with a Red Bull and Dills. Heavy braking zone, doesn't make the same mistake as his teammate does, but that's what you get from the 2015 Property Manager of the Year award. You just have that finesse to keep pushing forward, as Masticles and Mendy are trying to battle it out. Well, Masticles is just trying to get past a broken Alfa Romeo in front of him. As we look at the view that we have here of Mendy, we're not getting a top view, yes, but 3 wide as Mendy's going to go into the pits. But we're going to see Dills potentially trying to make a move down the inside as well, or he's going to stay around the outside. And he does, of Masticles, forcing him down the narrow inside line on the curb, and he gets that move done on Masticles. And Masticles is just falling down on those hards, with the boys on the medium are flying through. So Dills will stay behind Null for now. Yamsi catching up to the back of Alex here. 5/10 is the difference. And Kopsky's fallen down a full 1.5 seconds. Or has Bert made a mistake? No, he's just letting Rudy go. 4/10 is the difference. Ghost is 4/10 the difference as well. So we've got a nice little battle from 9th all the way down to 11th position. It's all coming down to DRS zones and when they will make their move on the attack. But I believe Yumpsy is going to make a move on Alex. He's a sitting duck here with DRS and ERS available for him to use. And Alex has actually dived into the pits. But Kopsky is right onto the back of Yumpsy. If he didn't have DRS on Alex, he would have made that move into P1 for the first time in this race. You can see Kopsky not stay inside the slipstream in between turns 1 and 2 to just not outbrake himself and carry too much momentum into that corner. Yeah, these two will be battling out for the rest of the Grand Prix for sure. As teammates exchange positions with the DRS for Licorice against Crystal, and now Licorice is on the road to getting in front of Davies there, as Papa Fresh on the soft compound has gone the fastest lap of a 1:40.2. Is Dill's going to make a move here on Null? So Licorice on the back of Davies as well, so you can see potentially 2 moves here if they start dumping a little bit more ERS and start pushing for that DRS overtake into turn 1. So yeah, look how much more speed he has, the Lucker Band effect from the slipstream, and he just flies in front. Null quickly goes behind to try and gain some of that momentum lost. And that's the same here with Crystal. And that's the same as Ghost as well. Ghost actually looking like he wants to make a move on Crystal. Trying to outbrake him. And he stays behind, so this is a big towing area right now. Very difficult place to overtake when you have the person in front of you also having the advantage of DRS. That gives you that extra 10 to 15 kilometers difference in pace. Re-education gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, and Kopsky actually just avoids a mistake in the castle. You can see the back end getting a little twitchy through there. Davies with a better exit and exchange in those corners, giving him a better exit out, where Crystal was nearly actually hit him on the rear end in that castle area. And he's coming into the braking zone, very aggressive and hot. And that's the front end plate of Davies coming into it, and that's been removed on the right wall there. He's on the hard compound tyre, and that's his strategy gone. Obviously with the mistake of Papa Fresh as well. It's gone from bad to worse for Ferrari, as the Alfa Romeo team come flying down the inside of a very broken down Ferrari. You can see that end plate. It's completely ripped off by Crystal, just outbraking himself. And he has done a little bit of damage to himself as well coming into the pit lane. So looking at the interval sheet that hasn't been broken yet, Re-Education gets a 5-second time penalty for crossing the pit lane early, I think. It was 2. So he's coming out the pit lane early, and he's gotten 5 seconds for doing so. So he must have done it the first time as well. And that was his warning. He did it a second time, and that's a penalty. There could be any further penalties if there was any cars nearby, because it is an aggressive tactic to use here at Baku, because it does set you up for turn 2. This is the closest battle on circuit. and potentially the lead of the Grand Prix with 6 laps to go. Oh! We've just caught the end of it! Absolutely Tokyo drifting, re-education. What on earth? We can see the instant replay here. I just noticed on the interval sheet that there was going to be a move. And look at him, power sliding into the wall. And Yumsy has lost the lead of the Grand Prix for the first time on circuit to Kopsky, who's been on his tail this entire Grand Prix. And Yumsy's not a man that would like to follow on this circuit, but it could set him up for the Grand Prix win if he's patient enough. Oversteer like crazy, yeah, you can just see. Wheels going one way, cars going another. Kopsky even weaving to the right hand side to break any type of toe effect he might be given. But you can see the difference of line given through there as Yumsy's taking the more optimal cutting of the curb. Oh! And he's just Tokyo drifting a little bit there. The tyres on the rear end are a little cooked. So Yumsy's actually fallen nearly a full second out of it. Re-education gets another 5 seconds for cross the pit lane exit line. So he needs to know where the white line is because he's just getting time penalties every time. So DRS for Yumsy to gain all that time back. Kopsky weaving left and right. Illegal, I should say. You're only really allowed 2 moves. This breaking of the toe isn't a thing. And a lot of drivers don't know that. You can move to the left, and then you can move back to the right to the racing line for your turn. But moving back to the left, yeah, you can't do that. That is more than 2 moves. So Yumsy, with the help of DRS, gets the move back done on Kopsky, even though he tried to break the toe as much as he could into turn 1. Turn 3, it's just impossible with the back-to-back DRS to gain all that time back. So still Rudy is on the back of Ghost. We might get that ready to just toggle to. So he's just on the back of Ghost. See if Kopsy's got to exchange that move back. 4 laps left of this Grand Prix, going into 3 laps left when they cross the line. And Yumsy falls behind once again to turn 1, but we might just see the continuation of exchange of moves through turns 1 and turn 3. Oh, lights up the rear tyres and falls behind, but also lags quite aggressively there. Yumsy 3/10, but gains all that time back from losing the rear end with the help of DRS. Side by side any minute now, and Mendy gets the position done nice and cleanly into turn 1. But like we said, we can see a potential move back. Oh, and he just outbrakes himself there and loses all that time, and Mendy's away. Well, what do we see here? We'll have it from the view of Alex. Rudy going down the inside of turn 4. That's compromising Ghost's line. An aggressive move, but a move nonetheless. And Alex also says thank you very much and gets an easy move past Ghost. Falls into P8. So Alex has now got his next prey in line, and that is Rudy. Let's see if he wants to make a move into turn 1 or set himself up into turn 3. He gets a time penalty. It's 3 seconds for multiple warnings. He's cut the corner leading into the final turn. What an odd place to set that up. And Yumsy's actually fallen 5 tenths behind, but with the help of DRS, he'll fall within that 10th mark straight away, especially in that braking zone. Side by side with Rudy Alex down the inside. Old foes battling once again, Mercedes versus Ferrari. Ghost is just patiently waiting from behind. Ghost just trying not to hit the back of Alex to keep that front wing intact. He's on the hard compound, so the speed is just not there compared to the mediums. Still no mistakes through Castle with these guys. Nicely done. The battle is just getting closer and closer with these guys with only 2 laps to go. And you can just see Yumpsy gain all that time back. Does he want to make a move around the outside? He doesn't. But he's setting himself up once again for turn 3. The thing is, it all comes down to strategy. Do you want to get in front of him and then use all the ERS in the world to break away from him? Because that last toe, that last DRS to the start finish line is crucial. If you can't break away from that, your race is over. So is Kopsky got to let him go? 17% ERS. He's trying to use as much as he can. He's breaking the toe. Yumpsy on 33%. I think Yumpsy is going to go make a move into turn 1, successfully defend turn 3, and then push with ERS because he's got so much more. He's got half a tank of ERS. I think that's exactly what's going to happen between these two. That is my prediction for how the race is going to finish. 23%, 50%. Here we go. Nice and early. He's not using any of his ERS. He's actually going to stay behind. He's chosen to stay behind. Or is he being forced to get the move done? He yielded before. What's his plan? Does he want to stay behind Kopsky? Is Kopsky going to yield so he stays behind? He's only got 13% ERS. If any of the drivers are listening, they should know that I'm going through the ERS as much as possible. Kopsky's actually breaking his tyre line a little bit too much. He's getting a wheel spin, so he's getting not the best exit. So like I said, successfully defends turn 3. And now it's all about breaking that toe area and just breaking that area. He's right onto the rear end of him. So maybe Yumpsy could play up to his old tricks. Is he going to let Kopsky go in front? Is he going to be like, oh, I've just made a mistake. He has to avoid me and go around the outside. Because he could technically just park the car and let him go. There's 8 seconds to the next car of Deals. Deals, funny enough, actually having a fantastic recovery drive and slotting himself into P3. going through here. This is when the drivers start to push. Final sector of the Grand Prix coming up. And he's using it. He is dumping it. He's outside the second range. Kopsky is currently outside the 1 second range for DRS. 1.1 seconds. Yamsi has pulled in an absolute masterclass on ERS dumping straight out of the castle section, and he's broken the absolute DRS. He's broken it. 1.1 seconds. He's got 6% ERS. 1.1 seconds is the gap, and Kopsky does not have DRS. He's only got 5% ERS. Yamsi, starting pole position, wins the race in style. Congratulations to the Mercedes driver of Yamsi. Absolute masterclass. Kopsky falling into P2, but a fantastic race nonetheless. Deals into P3, a very quiet drive from mistakes, but he still ends there. Null with his best finishing position of P4. Masticles in P5, and Ghost is battling it side by side with Rudy, and he gets the DRS. So it's Rudy with his return back to F1. Jumps into P6. Alex falls down into P8 from finishing because of his time penalties, and Ghost in a P6 finish. Licorice 9th, and Mendy will finish it out of the 10, but everyone gets points. So we got any minute now Crystal trying to find that last inch of pace to try and get one more position up. He won't get it done. And then Davies, Papa Fresh, Re-Education, and Burt finish the rest of the grid here. But Davies goes and claims fastest lap, a crucial point overall when everyone's welcome to the fastest point. He takes it. But yeah, congratulations to Yamsi claiming another win to his belt. Let's have a look, because he claimed the first one. So this is the third win out of 4 races. A very familiar sight with Yamsi claiming the P1, and Crystal Paladin claims Codemasters driver of the day. Yamsi lifts up the trophy here at Azerbaijan, Baku, and then Kopsky and Dills finish off the top 3, celebrating with him on the podium. What a finish indeed. All comes down to strategy, and he's absolutely gunned it using all the ERS in the top of the hill here at Baku. Alex with the only driver in the with time penalties, since everyone pitted and served them. But that is our finishing positions. Yamsi claims another P1 for Mercedes, and Kopsky and Dills finish in the top 3. Null, Maticals, Rudy, Ghost, Alex, Licorice, Mendy's your top 10. Any minute now, Crystal, Davies, Papa, Re-Education, Burt, Gunner, Zach, Repel, and Voodoo finish off the bottom 10. They all claim points for their teams successfully, unless they DNF'd, which is Gunner, Zach, Repel, and Voodoo. So thank you all so much for watching. I've been Alcatraz, and I'll see you guys in the following week for some more FNL content. Yeah, enjoy the tunes for a few minutes.
Mansions, fashion, dresses, famous friends, glory, matching heaven, filled of banshees and hill